G'day and welcome to Fine and Joe Offshore. Unfortunately, we couldn't get out this weekend due to lockdown, so I thought I'd run through our gummy rigs. Now, when we're offshore, it's always good to pre-rig up your rigs prior to going out the night before, which is always a good idea. In my bag here, I have one that's already done. Now, this is directly done and a monoliter, so you don't need any clips, swivels, any of those assistance at all. So you can make this purely at a monoliter. Let's get into it. So I'm using 80-pound monoliter today, purely because that's all that was in my bag. So, and then you'll need sinkers, which was also just in my bag. So we'll use that one, that doesn't matter. And a hook, whatever you desire. You can use 6/0s, 8/0s, 2/0s, depending on what you're catching. So all I'm going to do is when I get this undone. Now this is also good to have in your bag, all these pre-done. Or if you get bitten off offshore or inside the bays by those toothy friends. So I'm just going to undo that. Now I want a fair bit, so I'm probably going to use about a metre and a half, I reckon. And I'm going to cut that. Now, I'm going to start with the top. So I'm going to fold one half, and then I'm going to fold another half, just like that. I'm going to fold that half there like that. Now I'm going to get my fingers and I'll put them in there, and I'm just going to twist a loop, just like that. And then I'm going to put my fingers through the loop, and I'm going to pull the loop through like that. And that, I'll just snip that off. So that directly goes onto the rod, which I have here, which I have a clip swivel on it. So that just attaches straight on there like that. Job done. I'm going to do exactly the same to the bottom as I'm going to do to the top. And I want this to be a little bit longer. And no need to go overboard with the loops on that one, because that's just going to hold your sinker. So I'm going to cut that off there like that. So depending on what sinker you have, whether you have one like this or you have one with like the swivel on the end of it, you're just going to get the folded end, and you're going to feed that through the sinker and loop it back around on itself. And there you go. That's going to hold your sinker. Now if you're fishing offshore on weedy areas, that cat's decided to join. So if you're fishing offshore in the reeds or in the reef, you want to leave a little bit of distance, so about 600 mil, something like that, 500-600 mil, just so you're at the top, and that's where you're going to put your hook. So I'm going to fold that in half like that, and then I'm going to leave about 300 mil like that. So I'm just going to do a normal knot, a loop there, push it through like that, and tie it like you would your shoelace. And there's your loop like that. Might be easy if I took this sinker off just for the demonstration. So now with your loop end, we're just going to grab the two other ends, just like that. And we're going to fold them together, the top, just like that. And with your fingers like that, we're going to fold those two ends at the top like that. We're just going to twist those. Now this is what's called a dropper loop. So I'm going to twist those, twist, twist, like that. Twisting, maybe 4 or 5 times. And then we're going to grab the loop that we just made and we're going to push that through. Just like that. So we're going to pull that loop through. Just like that. And it should end up with something that looks like that. Now what we're going to do is just give a bit of lube, and we're going to pull, maybe put that on the downside. We're going to pull those together just like that. I'm going to tighten that. And that's your hook. So that's nicely tied to your line like that, up and down, with like a T. So this is sort of like a T swivel, I guess. So you're making one out of mono. And the director is back yet again. Now, I've left a bit of length on that, so when your gummy gets caught in that, it's just gonna go in its mouth and it's just gonna go around like that. Obviously you can leave them a bit short if you're catching snapper or whiting or anything like that, but for gummies or swell sharks, we don't want to be catching swell sharks. For gummies or toothy sharks, you can also put, actually, have I got any here? No, I don't have any. So sometimes I run a bit of fluoro or lumo tubing on there, which I just feed onto that, which then goes over the hook, but I don't seem to have any on me at the moment. So you can also do that. Now, depending on what hook size you like. So if you're going for gummies, I've got like an 8/0 here. So I'm just going to do exactly the same as what I did with the sinker. I'm going to feed that loop through the eye of the hook, like that. Back around itself, pull it tight, and your hook's on. So you can take that off when you want to put that in your bag after the end of the day, or you're not liking that hook, you can change it to another hook, like so. Just to take that off, you just got to push that through there again like that, and pull that out, and the hook's out. You might want to change it over to one of these furry ones for snapper or something. And just push it in like that. There you go, you're all done out. You can actually add dropper loops to this if you want to. That's probably a bit excessive, but there you go. That is pretty much it. That's pretty much what I use to catch gummies, snapper, offshore, in the bays. Obviously, if the current is running really fast, like Western Port or down south of the bay, you want to use a running sinker style hook. But apart from that, that is what I use offshore. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was educational. I hope you learned something. If you did, leave a thumbs up, a like the video. If you want to learn a bit more on how to catch gummies, we have done a gummy video, which I'll leave in the link just here. I hope to see you somewhere out in the big blue.